Buddhists describe the process of the cessation of suffering, the release of suffering, as the Eightfold Path. And this is a path that includes eight different things that any person can practice to achieve liberation. Now, liberation may not necessarily mean that, something special is going to happen, that something's going to fall out of the sky. But Buddhists believe that if you live this right path, if you live a path that is aligned with your spiritual growth, you can continue to grow your soul, right? A key idea of Buddhism is karma and reincarnation, and what you do in this life matters. And your energy will continue to go on into another life, right? So Buddhists describe this Eightfold Path as a path every person should be focused on aligning themselves in order to achieve the spiritual growth. Now, the first part of the Eightfold Path is having the right view, viewing things with the right frame of mind, knowing what's inherently right, knowing what's inherently wrong, having the right view on the world, right? Trying to align yourself, seeing things in a more positive light. The second thing is right intention, because intentions matter. Intentions always matter, right? You can have a guy jokingly insult another guy, and the intention behind that is to befriend the person or to possibly to encourage the person to change for the better. That's an example of right intention, right? It's always about intention. When you see someone do something in the world, it's not always about the words that they said or the action that they did. It's mainly about the intention. What was the person intending to do? No one likes to think of themselves as an evil person. And in their heads, people try to justify all the actions that they do. They try to make it make sense. But having the right intention will help you align yourself with the laws of karma. Because karma is not necessarily about this is right, this is wrong, and it's not a black and white view. It's mainly about intention, having good intentions and going about it the right way. Now, the third part of the Eightfold Path is having the right speech, right? Everyone knows that words and sentences that you speak to others, that you say about yourself, that you say and think about yourself, it always matters, right? You can have two guys in the same situation, both possibly working towards large scale success. One guy might speak words to themselves that, oh, maybe he doesn't think he's going to make it, maybe he thinks it's going to take a long amount of time. If he fills his head with those thoughts, those words will poison his mind for him to not take enough initiative because he may not believe that he's going to make it. So, having the right speech, speaking about things in the right way, will lead you to just having more positive beliefs about yourself. Naturally, taking more positive actions to better yourself, right? Because it starts with thoughts, it starts with words, and that eventually leads to actions, right? So having the right speech leads to the right actions. And that's the fourth part of the Eightfold Path. Having the right actions. And if you have the right mindset, if you have the right thoughts, and you have the right speech, right actions will soon follow. Now the fifth part is the right livelihood, right? To make sure you are living a life aligned with the positive aspects of spirituality, right? Where you make your money, anything that you do, have your life aligned the right way. Now, the next part is the right effort. A lot of people say they're going to do things. A lot of people approach life in a positive way. If the person isn't working hard enough, or if they're not putting in the right amount of effort, they will not see the fruits of their labor, right? Next part is the right mindfulness. This is the seventh part of the Eightfold Path, and that is to be mindful of others around you, to be mindful of how the world works, to be mindful of how your actions might affect other people, to be mindful of what effects your actions have on the world. And the last part is the right concentration. Because when you're trying to focus on achieving your goals, you do need the right concentration. You do need the right focus. You do need to have the ability to lock in. You do need to have the ability to focus on what really matters in life and not be too distracted by things that don't. Things in physical reality are not intended to be permanent, right? It is taught in Buddhism and many ancient religions that the soul is immortal and the soul will stick with you, right? And the soul spiritual growth is the reason why you are on this earth and is what really matters. And it's important that when you think about the Eightfold Path, you realize they're not just talking about the right thoughts and the right words and the right actions. In Buddhism, they teach that all eight things, right, everything in your life has to be aligned a certain way in order to achieve what you're looking for in this life, right? Right words, right thoughts, right actions. Everything in your life has to be achieved in the right way. You can't have one thing right and one thing wrong. It has to be aligned a certain way in order for you to continue to move forward in your spiritual journey, in your spiritual growth, and eventually lead to the path that you're trying to go down to.